I'm charging my heat pump. It is an r410a, and it's about 90 degrees outside. I have gotten the low side up from about 100 pounds per square inch to 130, and the high side from around 300 pounds per square inch to 340 to 50. Is this about right? What should my pressures be? The 410a part of the gauge is reading 44 low and 106 for high.
Hello. My name is. I'll do my best to help. Let's get started and see what we can do. Carrier recommends charging by superheat. Have you taken a superheat reading, and if so, what do you have with those pressures?
No, I have not. It was in cooling mode. The only way to do superheated, if I remember, is to put it on heat and lower the thermostat 4 or more degrees to have the second stage kick in, or email heat right. I also have a follow-up knowledge question for my own information. Why would they want or recommend to charge in superheat mode? How different would the pressures be when I believe you call it the TXV valve is reversed for the heat cycledoes? This make a big difference in the pressures, and what would they be then?
Look inside the panel and tell me if the chart there lists subcooling or superheat values. We may want to adjust charge by subcooling on the 25A. In this case, tell me suction pressure and temp of suction line just outside of the unit. We can check both in cool mode. Give me the following. 1. Suction pressure 2. Liquid pressure 3. Temp of suction line just outside unit 4. Temp of liquid line just outside unit.
I apologize, but the chart actually has both, and I don't have anything hooked up anymore. Can I do it in the morning or another time tomorrow? That may be good for you. It's kind of hard to read the charts. It has 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 listed under the required subcooling temperature. I believe that's for the tons, and I'm not sure how many tons my unit is. I've looked it up, and I have to get the thermal coupling, the hookup to the line outside. I have to find mine.
Tomorrow is fine. Your unit is a 5-ton unit. Most of them need to be around 10. We will figure it out tomorrow.
No, sorry about that. I was wrong. Those numbers indicate the subcooling temperature on the data plate on the outside, which means I believe I have to hook up the thermometer to the low pressure side, which is liquid, compared to the pressure I read on the low pressure gauge, and if it's higher than that I need to add Freon until they match. At least that's the way I'm reading it.
We can check both. I have been in business over 40 years and still get them mixed up. Here is a link explaining how to check both. We can do that in daylight tomorrow. http://contractingbusiness.com/archive/superheat and subcooling best ways ensure proper refrigerant charge.
Okay, thank you. What times are good for you tomorrow? You're available all day. Just out of Mormon curiosity, if I can find my farm supply, can I use regular mom? Okay, thank you. What times are good for you tomorrow? You're available all day. Just out of Mormon curiosity, if I can find my farm supply, can I use regular thermometer, or do I need to go get something specific? That way I can make sure I have it.
We just need a thermometer that will make good contact and give us an accurate reading. I will be in office by about 9 or 9:30 and be here most of the day unless my men have an issue and need me in the field.
Okay, thank you. I will respond tomorrow when I'm ready.
I am in office, just let me know when ready.
Okay, I'll be ready in about 20 minutes. The unit has to run for about 10 minutes, and I want to try and upload the charts.
Sounds good. Give me the following. 1. Suction pressure 2. Head pressure 3. Suction temp just outside unit 4. Head pressure just outside unit.
Okay, right now it looks like high side is 300 pounds per square inch, the low side is 130 pounds per square inch, and the line temp is 90 with digital probe and 87 with infrared temp gun. According to the charts I sent in my previous reply, at 12 degrees subcooling and 380 liquid pressure at service valve, the temperature shouldn't be over 102 degrees, which tells me I'm approximately 12 to 16 degrees under temp. Does that mean it's overpressurized? If so, is that a lot of overcharge, and how can I get rid of some? Furthermore, according to the chart, at my line temperature the pressure should be between 308 and 326 pounds per square inch. Just so you know, the ambient temperature outside is about 90-91 degrees. I'm sorry I messed up in the very first reply with the pressures. The high side pressure is 380 pounds per square inch, not 300. And is there a way to put Freon back in my bottle by opening the high side valve on the manifold to push Freon in the bottle versus the low side valve to suck liquid from the bottle?
You cannot put it back in bottle. You will need to recover, by law. Some people would simply release a bit into atmosphere, but that is illegal. By the way, what is temp of suction line just outside unit?
Is the low side big cool line or the small high side warm line? The big low pressure line is 64 and the small high pressure line is 88. So am I reading the charts correctly, and how badly overcharged is it?
You currently have a 19 degree superheat with a 25 degree subcooling. I would open liquid line and count to 20, then close. Allow to run 10 minutes and recheck.
Thank you. I guess that means it's not so bad. What should my subcooling be at? Great job, ND. Thanks again.
Desired subcooling should be marked on the label alongside factory charge. Do you see this?
Sorry, I've been busy, and yes, I had already seen the desired subcooling that was needed to match the pressures and temps on the subcooling chart, and the label says for my unit desired subcooling is 12 degrees. Is the subcooling determined by subtracting the low line temp from the high or liquid line temp? Again, thanks for everything. You have been very helpful. The factory label under the 12.35 pounds charge states indoor TXV subcooling 12 degrees Fahrenheit.
Liquid subcooling is normally measured at the liquid line service valve. The manufacturer will usually specify the required subcooling on the outdoor unit service panel. It's usually between 5F and 15F, but always go by the manufacturer's requirements. To measure liquid subcooling, attach your gauge manifold to the liquid line service port. Take a pressure reading. Use a temperature pressure chart to convert the pressure to the saturated condensing temperature of the refrigerant. Next, attach an accurate digital thermometer to the liquid line. It's usually best to insulate the thermometer probe so that it's not affected by the ambient air. The temperature that you read with the thermometer should be lower than the saturated condensing temperature. The difference between the measured liquid line temperature and the saturated condensing temperature is the liquid subcooling. Add refrigerant to increase subcooling. Recover refrigerant to reduce subcooling.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.